The anticipation of meeting my dear friend Lisa had been building for days. We had been through thick and thin together, but life had taken us on separate paths recently, making our reunions all the more special. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the city, I carefully selected my outfit for the evening. I wanted to look my best, exuding confidence and happiness. It had been far too long since we had shared a laugh over a drink, reminiscing about the good old days. The familiar buzz of excitement coursed through me as I stepped out of my front door and made my way to the downtown bar where we had spent countless memorable evenings. The sound of my heels clicking against the pavement echoed in the otherwise quiet street. Walking into the bar, I was greeted by the familiar scent of aged wood and the soft hum of conversation. The low lighting created an intimate atmosphere, perfect for reconnecting with an old friend. My eyes scanned the room, searching for Lisa. And there she was, sitting at a cozy corner table, a smile spreading across her face as our eyes met. Time seemed to slow down as I made my way towards her, feeling a mixture of excitement and nostalgia bubbling within me. As I approached the table, I couldn't help but notice the subtle changes in Lisa. Life had left its mark, but in the best possible way. Her laughter lines spoke of countless joyful moments, and the strength in her eyes revealed the challenges she had overcome. We embraced tightly, the warmth of our friendship filling the space between us. We settled into our seats, the air filled with a sense of comfort and familiarity. The waiter approached, and we ordered our drinks, eager to indulge in the simple pleasure of a well-mixed cocktail. As the evening progressed, our conversation flowed effortlessly, seamlessly picking up where we had left off. We laughed until tears streamed down our faces, sharing stories of triumphs, failures, and everything in between. It felt as though time had stood still, and we were transported back to the carefree days of our youth. In the midst of our joyful reunion, I couldn't help but notice a vibrant presence behind the bar counter. The barmaid was a vision of confidence and allure. Her radiant smile seemed to light up the room, and her effortless charm drew everyone's attention. I couldn't help but be captivated by her magnetic energy. Little did I know that her presence would soon send ripples through the course of the night, forever altering the trajectory of my emotions and relationships. But for now, I focused on relishing the moment, savoring the warmth of friendship, and immersing myself in the familiar embrace of a night out with a dear friend. Stepping into the dimly lit bar, I couldn't help but feel a surge of nostalgia wash over me. The familiar scent of oak and spirits embraced my senses, evoking memories of countless evenings spent in this very spot with Lisa. It was our haven, our escape from the demands of everyday life. My eyes scanned the room, searching for Lisa's familiar face. And there she was, nestled in a cozy corner booth, a smile tugging at the corners of her lips as she caught sight of me. We locked eyes, and a rush of joy coursed through my veins. We eagerly closed the distance between us, our steps quickening with anticipation. As our arms wrapped around each other in a tight embrace, time seemed to melt away, leaving only the effervescence of our friendship. The sounds of laughter and clinking glasses blended seamlessly with our conversation, creating a symphony of familiarity and comfort. We settled into the plush booth, sinking into its embrace as if it were an old friend. The atmosphere was alive with the hum of conversation, the soft melodies of the background music adding a touch of ambiance to our reunion. The waiter approached with a warm smile, a notepad in hand, ready to take our drink orders. We exchanged a knowing glance before ordering our favorite cocktails, each one a testament to the countless nights we had spent in this very bar, sharing stories and secrets. As we raised our glasses in a silent toast, a burst of laughter erupted from a nearby table, punctuating the air with pure joy. It was infectious, and soon enough, we found ourselves swept up in fits of laughter, our bodies shaking with mirth. The hours seemed to fly by as we dove into the depths of our shared memories. We reminisced about our school days, recalling the misadventures and the dreams we had once held so close to our hearts. We of the challenges life had thrown our way, the victories we had celebrated, and the spoke lessons we had learned. In between sips of our drinks, we delved into the present, exchanging updates on our lives. We shared stories of love, heartbreak, and personal growth, providing a glimpse into the intricate tapestry of our existence. The vulnerability and authenticity of our conversation reaffirmed the strength of our bond. The bar buzzed with energy, its patrons engaged in their own conversations and moments of connection. Yet, in that little corner booth, it felt as if time stood still, cocooning us in a world of friendship and shared experiences. As the night wore on, our laughter softened into whispers, and the bar's ambience shifted, signaling the arrival of a new wave of patrons seeking solace and camaraderie. Reluctantly, we realized that our time together was drawing to a close. With heavy hearts, we bid farewell to the bar, leaving behind the echoes of our laughter and the imprint of our friendship. But as we stepped out into the night, a renewed sense of gratitude filled our souls. Our reunion had been everything we had hoped for and more, reigniting the flame of our friendship and setting the stage for the unexpected twists and turns that awaited us in the chapters to come. As we settled into our corner booth, engrossed in conversation, a flicker of movement caught my eye. I turned my head and my gaze met the captivating presence behind the bar, the barmaid. She stood tall and confident, her poise exuding an air of charisma that drew everyone's attention. Her radiant smile seemed to illuminate the room, inviting laughter and joy. I couldn't help but be captivated by her magnetic energy. Dressed in a stylish yet understated outfit, she moved with grace, effortlessly gliding between the bar counter and the tables, tending to the patrons' needs. Her nimble fingers expertly mixed cocktails, her hands a symphony of fluid motions. Her eyes, sparkling with warmth and mischief, scanned the room, making personal connections with each person she encountered. She had a way of making you feel seen, as if you were the only one in the bar that mattered. I watched as she engaged in conversation, her laughter mingling with the sounds of clinking glasses and cheerful banter. Her genuine interest in others was evident, and it was no wonder that the patrons gravitated towards her, eager for a taste of her captivating charm. Time seemed to blur as I observed her interactions, the ebb and flow of emotions etched upon her face. It was as if she held the power to light up the darkest corners of people's hearts, even if only for a fleeting moment. As the evening wore on, I couldn't help but notice the effect she had on those around her. The atmosphere became infused with a sense of excitement and anticipation, as if everyone in the bar was under her enchanting spell. It wasn't just her outward beauty that drew people in, it was her warmth and genuine nature that made her truly captivating. Her ability to connect with others on a deeper level was a gift, one that she shared freely with those who crossed her path. As I sat there, spellbound by her presence, I began to wonder about her story. What experiences had shaped her into the captivating barmaid she was? What dreams and aspirations hid behind her captivating smile? I couldn't help but be curious about the layers beneath her vibrant exterior. But amidst my intrigue, a pang of unease crept into my heart. My attention shifted back to my own reality, and the sight of my husband sitting at the bar, engaged in a seemingly animated conversation with the barmaid, caught me off guard. The tendrils of doubt began to slither their way into my mind, casting a shadow over the night and planting the seeds of uncertainty. Little did I know that this fleeting glimpse of my husband's interaction with the barmaid would be the catalyst for a cascade of emotions and revelations that would test the strength of my relationships and reshape the course of my life. As the evening progressed and our conversation flowed effortlessly, an unexpected sight shattered the tranquility of the night. My friend Lisa's eyes widened, and she grabbed my arm, her grip tightening with urgency. Curiosity mingled with concern as I followed her gaze towards the bar. And there, to my utter shock, sat my husband, engrossed in a conversation with none other than the captivating barmaid. A mixture of surprise, confusion, and a sinking feeling settled in the pit of my stomach. Was it merely an innocent exchange, or was there something more beneath the surface? My heart raced as I observed their interaction. They leaned towards each other, their faces alive with animated expressions and shared laughter. Their chemistry was undeniable, and I couldn't help but feel a pang of unease creeping into my thoughts. Questions flooded my mind, each one more pressing than the last. What was my husband discussing with the barmaid? Why were they so comfortable in each other's presence? Were they merely acquaintances, or was there something deeper brewing between them? Doubt gnawed at the edges of my consciousness, whispering unsettling possibilities. Was this a betrayal of our vows? Had I missed the signs of a deeper connection forming between my husband and the barmaid? My emotions swirled, caught between longing for reassurance and fear of confronting the truth. Lisa's grip on my arm tightened, her concern mirrored in her eyes. She leaned closer, her voice barely a whisper, and suggested that we observe the situation a bit longer, hoping to gain more clarity before jumping to conclusions. Reluctantly, I agreed, my gaze locked on the scene unfolding before us. As minutes turned into what felt like an eternity, I watched as my husband and the barmaid continued their lively conversation. Their laughter filled the air, their bodies leaning in ever so slightly, their eyes locked in a dance of connection. It was an intimate exchange that left me feeling like an outsider in my own world. A knot formed in the depths of my chest, a mix of emotions churning within me. Anger, confusion, and sadness battled for dominance, their waves crashing against the fragile shores of my heart. The realization that something was missing began to take hold, seeping into my consciousness like an unwelcome intruder. The bar, once a haven of joy and camaraderie, now seemed filled with shadows and uncertainty. The sounds of clinking glasses and laughter lost their luster, fading into a backdrop of background noise as my attention remained fixated on the unfolding scene. In the midst of the whirlwind of emotions, I knew that a decision had to be made. The path before me split into two distinct directions: ignore the situation and bury my concerns deep within, or confront my husband and face the truth head-on. As the weight of the moment settled upon my shoulders, I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the difficult conversations that lie ahead. It was time to find the courage to confront my husband and reveal the truth, no matter how painful it might be. The chapters of our story were about to take an unexpected turn, and I was determined to uncover the secrets that lingered in the shadows of the bar. Emotions churned within me as I mustered the courage to confront my husband about what I had witnessed at the bar. It was a pivotal moment, one that held the potential to either strengthen the bonds of our relationship or unravel the foundation we had built together. The weight of my unease pressed upon my shoulders as I walked towards my husband, his back turned towards me as he continued his conversation with the barmaid. My steps felt heavy, each one an echo of the uncertainty that plagued my heart. As I reached his side, he turned towards me, his face lighting up with a smile of surprise and delight. It was a smile that had once brought me comfort and solace, but now it carried an undertone of guilt, knowing what I had witnessed. With a mix of trepidation and determination, I met his gaze and gently asked if we could speak privately. His expression shifted, a flicker of concern crossing his features, and he nodded, excusing himself from the barmaid's company. We found a corner quiet away from prying eyes, the soft murmur of conversations serving as a backdrop to the storm brewing within me. The air was heavy with unspoken words, the tension palpable as we faced each other, knowing that this conversation held the power to redefine our relationship. I took a deep breath, steadying myself before finding the words to express the turmoil that had consumed me. With a trembling voice, I revealed what I had seen, the image of my husband engrossed in conversation with the barmaid etched into my memory like a painful scar. His initial reaction was one of surprise and confusion, his eyes darting nervously as he tried to piece together the gravity of the situation. He stumbled over his words, attempting to offer an explanation that would quell my rising doubts. My heart ached as I listened, desperately yearning for his words to alleviate my fears. But doubts continued to linger, my intuition whispering of a connection that ran deeper than mere conversation. The weight of silence settled upon us, each passing second stretching into an eternity of uncertainty. The truth remained elusive, caught in the space between his words and my suspicions. The emotions that swirled within me were a tempest, tearing at the fabric of trust that had once bound us together. It was in that fragile moment, standing on the precipice of revelation, that I realized the importance of open communication and vulnerability. The foundation of our relationship had been shaken, and it was up to both of us to decide how to move forward. We delved into a heartfelt conversation, baring our souls and uncovering hidden truths. I shared my fears, my insecurities, and the impact that the scene at the bar had left on me. He, in turn, shared his perspective, his intentions, and the depth of his commitment to our relationship. It was a raw and emotional exchange, marked by tears, frustrations, and moments of clarity. We navigated the storm together, holding on to the glimmers of love and understanding that still lingered within us. As the conversation unfolded, a sense of cautious hope began to blossom. We acknowledged the complexities of human interactions, the vulnerability that can sometimes lead us astray, and the importance of trust in rebuilding what had been fractured. With newfound determination, we made a pact to embark on a journey of healing and rediscovery. The chapters of our story were not yet closed, and together, we would navigate the shadows that had emerged, striving to rebuild the trust and connection that had once defined our relationship. Chapter 5 marked a turning point, a moment of confronting the shadows and choosing to face the truth head-on. The road ahead would be challenging, filled with obstacles and uncertainties. In the aftermath of our heartfelt conversation, a delicate tension hung in the air between my husband and me. We had laid bare our fears and vulnerabilities, yet the path to healing remained unclear. Chapter 6 marked a period of introspection and self-discovery as we sought to find clarity amidst the swirling emotions that enveloped us. With a shared commitment to rebuilding our relationship, we embarked on a journey of self-reflection and introspection. Each of us took time to examine our own actions, motivations, and the role we played in the current state of our union. Therapy became a guiding light, a sanctuary where we could unravel the tangled threads of our emotions and confront the underlying issues that had led us to this juncture. We embraced the process, humbly surrendering to the guidance of a professional who could help us navigate the intricacies of our wounded hearts. Together and individually, we dove deep into the recesses of our souls, unearthing the roots of our insecurities and the patterns of behavior that had hindered our connection. It was a journey of self-discovery, a process of shedding old layers and confronting the shadows that had haunted us for far too long. As we delved into the complexities of our own selves, we began to comprehend the impact our actions had on each other. We acknowledged the ways in which our individual choices had contributed to the disconnection that had seen into our relationship. This newfound awareness became the catalyst for growth, allowing us to confront our shortcomings with honesty and compassion. Communication became our lifeline, the foundation upon which we rebuilt the trust that had been shattered. We engaged in open, honest conversations, sometimes raw and painful, but always filled with a genuine desire to understand one another. During this chapter of our story, we set aside the distractions of everyday life and created intentional moments of connection. We embarked on long walks, hand in hand, sharing our dreams, fears, and aspirations. We explored new hobbies together, embracing the joy of shared experiences and the thrill of rediscovery. Gradually, as we navigated the depths of our emotions, we began to redefine the boundaries and expectations of our relationship. We have established guidelines for open and transparent communication, acknowledging the importance of addressing any concerns or doubts that may arise. In the pursuit of clarity, we also recognize the need for individual growth. We embraced personal development, immersing ourselves in self-care practices that nurtured our minds, bodies, and souls. We sought solace in journaling, meditation, and creative outlets, finding solace in the journey of self-rediscovery. Chapter 6 was marked by moments of vulnerability, as we peeled back the layers of our hearts, exposing our deepest wounds and yearnings. It was a chapter of self-exploration, guided by the belief that true healing and growth could only be achieved by acknowledging and addressing our own insecurities and fears. As the chapter drew to a close, a newfound sense of clarity began to emerge. The road ahead was still uncertain, but we held on to the glimmer of hope that accompanied our journey of self-discovery. With renewed purpose and an unwavering commitment to each other, we stood on the precipice of transformation, ready to embrace the challenges and triumphs that awaited us in the chapters yet to come. This chapter marked a crucial phase in our journey of rebuilding trust and forging a stronger connection. It was a chapter defined by vulnerability, forgiveness, and the arduous task of navigating the intricate web of trust that had been fractured. With newfound clarity and a commitment to growth, we set out on the challenging path of rebuilding trust. We understood that trust is not easily restored, but rather a delicate tapestry woven with consistency, honesty, and genuine effort. Open and transparent communication became our guiding principle. We shared our innermost thoughts, fears, and desires, laying them bare in the presence of one another. It was a journey of exposing our vulnerabilities, taking responsibility for our actions, and actively listening to one another with empathy and understanding. Through countless conversations, we explored the depths of our past, the wounds that had shaped us, and the insecurities that had threatened our bond. We addressed the pain caused by the barmaid's presence, acknowledging the impact it had on our relationship and the trust that had been compromised. In this chapter, forgiveness played a vital role. We embarked on the challenging task of forgiving each other for the mistakes made and the hurt inflicted. It required immense compassion, patience, and a willingness to let go of resentment. We recognized that forgiveness was not synonymous with forgetting, but rather a conscious decision to release the grip of past grievances and move forward with a renewed sense of hope. Trust-building exercises became a cornerstone of our efforts. We sought out opportunities to rebuild trust in small, meaningful ways. We made promises and commitments, and then followed through on them. Each fulfilled commitment, no matter how small, became a stepping stone towards rebuilding the foundation of trust that had been shaken. Time also played a crucial role in this chapter. Rebuilding trust requires patience and a willingness to give each other the space needed to heal. We recognize that trust cannot be rushed or forced, it grows gradually, nourished by consistent actions and words of sincerity. As we navigated the complexities of trust, we also leaned on our support systems. Family and close friends provided guidance, offering a listening ear and unbiased perspectives. Their presence reminded us that we were not alone in our journey, that love and support surrounded us, ready to lift us up when doubt threatened to pull us down. Throughout this chapter, we celebrated the milestones of progress, no matter how small they may have seemed. Each instance of open communication, each act of honesty, and each demonstration of genuine care became a testament to our commitment to rebuilding trust. By the end, trust began to take root once again in the fertile soil of our relationship. The road ahead was still marked with challenges, but we faced them together, fortified by the lessons learned and the strength gained through our shared experiences. This chapter was a testament to the resilience of love, as we continue to weave the threads of trust back into the fabric of our relationship. With every step forward, we embraced the hope that the